Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy DICEM, LIL DICE, SLICEM DICEM, whatever you want to call me. Joe, you can call me JF, you can call me JR, you can call me Joe. Call me what you want, just don't call me out my name. So yeah, Abomination versus Carnage. When looking at Carnage, obviously, he's got an enhanced healing factor to the point where he can survive what you're about to witness. And he can also bite heads off with one bite. He's strong enough to punch through metal, concrete, etc., and he's got multiple lethal tentacles. Carnage is actually believed to be stronger than Venom, and we know Venom's feats. In fact, most of you already know Carnage's feats, but for example, he's able to literally wrap a tentacle around a helicopter well in mid-flight and crash it to the ground. And he can dent metal and crush it easily, even iron and steel. He's, of course, able to trade blows with Venom, who's a heavy hitter, and he's resistant to some of the weaknesses of symbiotes in general, like fire, sound, all the things we know Venom and his kind, the Clintar, have as weaknesses. He's basically more evolved and immune to those things. As many of the fans know, Carnage was of course Cletus Cassidy, a human serial killer who became Carnage, meaning of course he's one of the most deranged symbiotes. Arguably, within the Venomverse, Carnage is the most powerful and most psychotic and mad symbiote. Carnage is a Clintar, a symbiote offspring of Venom, who bonded to Cletus Cassidy. And in the comics, they're connected at a blood level, meaning anytime Cletus bleeds, Carnage comes out. And the thing is, Cletus and his deranged, horrifying psyche scarred the symbiote, forever warping its mind and creating carnage. He's roughly 8 feet tall, whereas the Abomination stands at around 10 feet tall, and currently he's grown, very likely to the size of around 13 to 15 feet tall. Of course, Emil Blonsky is the Abomination. His lust for power and envy of the Hulk, and his brutal defeat at the hands of the Hulk as a human with the Super Soldier Serum led him to take not only the Super Soldier Serum, but the blood of Bruce Banner, the Hulk himself, causing him to mutate into a raging gamma being. Though unlike the Hulk, he keeps his human intellect while in the brutish form even when he first transforms, though he has increased rage and of course strength and abilities. The Abomination is one of the most powerful powerhouses. You know this when you see the fact that he literally fought the Hulk as his first opponent. Now let's get into the fight. Abomination is rampaging through a city. He's throwing cars. He's smashing the ground so hard that the ground just shatters and a huge shockwave goes flying, killing hundreds of people, and then the ground collapses beneath them as then a red tentacle flies towards him and goes to pierce through his body, but the Abomination grips it up and pulls whatever's behind this tentacle through the city directly towards him and grips up Carnage by his throat. He goes to slam him into the ground as Carnage stabs him through the abdomen with a bladed arm and then goes to slash for his throat as Abomination punches him in the face so damn hard that he goes flying, literally soaring jet fast through the air and going straight through massive skyscrapers. Carnage gets up and races, breaking directly through the wall like it's nothing and breaking through another as he then runs and charges at Abomination. Abomination runs through the city coming at Carnage. He sticks his elbow out and mows Carnage over and mega kicks the shit out of him through multiple skyscrapers. He flies back, sliding back and coming to a stop as Abomination charges over to him. He viciously uppercuts Carnage so hard he flies back through the air. He races over to Carnage as Carnage runs up to him and penetrates 3 tentacles straight through his chest, and then comes in close and penetrates his bladed arm straight through his ribs. Abomination swings at Carnage and gets thrown with the tentacles through the air. After falling through multiple floors, the Abomination lands, and then Carnage comes down onto his chest, instantly stabbing at him. Abomination simply grips him up by his throat, laughing in his face as he then slams him into the ground. As Carnage stabs through Abomination's leg, Abomination kicks him through the wall, causing him to go flying and slamming into a car. He runs at Carnage, and then Abomination punches him in the head so hard he flies down, head crashing through the ground. He picks up a car, and he lifts it over his head, and he says, "I am the Abomination," as he rams it down onto Carnage, crashing into him. He punches down, slamming his fists down onto Carnage over his head, as Carnage then slashes at his face, and then slashes his chest open, shooting multiple spikes as little projectiles through his body. Abomination swings with a lot of force. Carnage dodges it and bites his throat. Abomination rips him off of him and begins slamming his fist like a gorilla over his head onto Carnage over and over and over, and punching him over and over and over, as he then grips him up by the throat and snaps his neck so hard his head is upside down. Then with one hand he grips up Carnage's face and savagely crushes his skull and then rips his head off, killing him instantly. Winner, the Abomination. It's been your boy DICEM, I'm outie.